I Want Answers is presented by the Grand River Dam Authority. Additional funding provided by the Gerald H. Westby Jr. Foundation, RCB Bank, Rogers State University, and by viewers like you.
The Adair Warriors and the Morris Eagles are here as we continue the 10th season of I Want Answers. Hello everyone, and welcome to our 10th season of Oklahoma's favorite academic game show, I Want Answers, presented by GRDA. I'm your host, Anna Berry, and I'm excited to be back with you again this year. Now, you may notice we've made a few changes due to the pandemic. In order to maintain social distancing, only 2 of the 4 players will be competing at a time. They will be rotating between rounds. Our contestants will be wearing masks, and we are all following the cleaning and safety protocols behind the scenes to make sure we keep everyone safe. Tonight's teams are the Adair Warriors and the Morris Eagles. Now, these teams are competing for a chance at $12,000 in scholarship money that will be awarded in the championship at the end of the season. Let's start off by meeting the first 2 players from Adair. All right, welcome Adair. We have Sunny Hobbs, sophomore, welcome. And we have Chloe Birkenfield, freshman. Chloe, you're the team captain, welcome. And let's meet our players from Morris, the Morris Eagles. We have team captain Canton Pickle, welcome. And we have Aaron Howell, a senior. All right, welcome. Teams, you ready? Feeling good? Excited? Yes. Audience, how you doing? You feeling good, excited? I know you all want some questions, but this show's about what I want, and what do I want?
Answers.
Yes, the right answers at that. Let's begin our competition with the speed round.
First up, the speed round. The speed round consists of individual answer questions worth 10 points each. The first team member to buzz in gets to answer. No conferring between team members is allowed in this round.
Here we go, let's begin. His show ran on PBS for 33 years, starting in 1968. Who asked his viewers to be his neighbor? Morris?
Mr. Rogers?
Yes. The first of 14 flags to fly over Oklahoma was the royal standard of which nation, brought there by Francisco Vasquez de Coronado in 1541? Morris?
Spain.
Yes. A 2018 government report concluded that not counting mortgages, the largest source of American debt, was what type incurred by young people? Adair?
Credit card debt.
No. Morris?
Student loans.
Yes. A planned 2022 launch of a telescope to investigate dark matter is named after this mathematician and author of Elements. Morris?
Mendeleev.
No. Adair?
Einstein.
No, it's Euclid. Often associated with Japanese culture, this is the art of folding paper into decorative, Morris?
Origami.
Yes. We have a math question. All right, 3 ounces of meat are used in a fast food joint to make 12 hamburgers. How many ounces of meat do they use to make 8 hamburgers? All right, the correct answer is 2 ounces. Okay, some folks drink the juice of this succulent plant for good health. Skin creams are made with it, and the gel is used for a sunburn. What is it? Morris?
Aloe vera.
Yes. In 1853, the man invented a safety device that prevents elevators from falling if the main cable breaks. This allowed for skyscrapers, and many elevators still have his name on them. Adair?
Otis.
Yes. In 2018, the Prime Minister of Malaysia said that he prefers quinoa to which other grain that is a staple of their national food? Morris?
Rice.
Yes. The 4 slain daughters of Russia's last czar were Olga, Tatiana, Maria, and which one whom numerous women later professed to be? Adair?
Anastasia.
Yes. All right, we got a video question from RSU Radio.
Hi, I'm Evan from RSU Radio. With artists like BTS, Big Bang, and Super Junior, what is the East Asian genre of music that has become increasingly popular in American culture?
Morris?
K-pop.
Yes. Also known as the thigh bone, what is the longest and strongest bone in the human body? Morris?
Femur.
Yes. The peak of Mount Everest and the floor of Mammoth Cave are made of the same kind of rock. What is the sedimentary calcium carbonate rock? Morris?
Limestone.
Yes. Math question. In the sample study, 27 people of the 135 were allergic to the product. What percent was not allergic to it? All right, the correct answer is 80%. What word meaning an obvious exaggeration in rhetoric has only the last letter different from the word for a conic section of analytical geometry shaped like an hourglass? Morris?
Hyperbole.
Yes. It was Italy's capital from 1805 to 1814. It's now the fashion capital of Italy. Adair?
Milan.
Yes. This instrument is an original American invention. In tuning it, a G chord is played. All 5 strings are strummed without fingering. Adair?
Banjo.
Yes. All right, we got a video question from GRDA.
Hi, I'm Justin Alberti with the Grand River Dam Authority. When heat is converted into another form of energy, the total amount of energy is constant. Which law of thermodynamics am I illustrating?
Morris?
First law.
Yes, correct. Okay, in 2019, a 2019 scientific study concludes that the world's oceans are losing which element rapidly and endangering the ecosystem? Adair?
Sodium.
No. Oxygen. They haven't always been this fast, but what unit is commonly used to express the speed of a computer CPU? Morris?
Hertz.
Yes. All right, what electrically charged atom or molecule forms when ligands coordinately bonded to a central metallic center? They are not the simple form. The answer is complex ions. And that bell means time's up for the speed round. The score stands at 40 for Adair and 120 for Morris. Round 2 is coming up. We'll be right back.
Every day, the employees of the Grand River Dam Authority strive for excellence by focusing on the 5 E's: employees, electricity, environmental stewardship, economic development, and efficiency. We do this by producing low-cost, reliable electricity that touches 75 of the 77 counties in the state. At no cost to the taxpayers, we also manage 70,000 surface acres of lakes and the scenic Illinois River. Annually, the efforts of Team GRDA facilitate over $450 million in economic activity for Oklahoma.
The Gerald H. Westby Jr. Foundation is a proud sponsor of I Want Answers on RSU Public TV. Throughout his life, Gerald Westby worked hard to add to the quality of life through his legacy of support for the arts, arts education, and culture. The Gerald H. Westby Jr. Foundation continues this work.
And welcome back to I Want Answers, presented by GRDA. Let's meet our new players from Adair. We have Lilith Brazil, sophomore, welcome. And we have Libby Whiteside, a junior. Welcome, ladies. All right, and our new players from Morris, we have Madison Melton, senior, welcome. And we know you, Canton. All right, you guys ready? Yes, excited? Here we go, because we've got Advantage Round coming your way next.
Next up, the Advantage Round. In this round, the teams face off by first attempting to answer a speed question. The team that answers correctly receives 10 points and the opportunity to answer 3 advantage questions worth 10 points each. After the 3 advantage questions, it's back to speed questions to determine who gets the next advantage. The speed questions can be answered by anyone, but the answers for the advantage questions must come from the team captain.
All right, here's your first speed question. Quote, I learned to recognize the thorough and primitive duality of man, unquote. This is said by the main character in which story by Robert Louis Stevenson? Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. This 1866 patent describes what invention? The arrangement of 2 wheels, the one directly in front of the other, combined with a mechanism for driving the wheels. Adair?
Bicycle.
Yes, advantage for Adair. The Berlin Wall. What predecessor of President Jimmy Carter said of the Berlin Wall, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall?
Reagan.
Yes. The Berlin Wall was built in August of this year, just 7 months after President Kennedy was inaugurated. What year?
53.
Nope. The Berlin Wall was a symbol of the non-military but very real division between communist countries and democratic ones. What 2 words named this conflict? It's the Cold War, and that was 1961. All right, back to speed. NASA once tested a 425-foot cannon as an inexpensive way to launch into space. The idea came from which French sci-fi author's 1872 novel, From the Earth to the Moon? Jules Verne. In the human body, the myelin sheath, dendrite, and axon are all parts of a what? Adair?
Neuron.
No. Morris?
Muscle.
No. The answer is nerve. This punctuation mark is used to create compound words, especially modifiers before nouns such as off campus, and it divides a word into syllables to show pronunciation. Adair?
Hyphen.
Yes, advantage for Adair. Twins. Identical twins have identical DNA. What type of twins are no more alike than any other siblings in the family?
Fraternal twins.
Yes. In which sea do you find the twin island state of St. Kitts and Nevis?
Mediterranean.
No, it's the Caribbean. Mauna Loa and Mauna Kea in Hawaii are twins of which geologic features?
Volcanoes.
Yes. All right, back to speed. Arrange these 3 devices in chronological order from earliest to latest. Microcomputer, microscope, microphone. Morris?
Microscope, microphone, microcomputer.
Yes, advantage for Morris. Biology. In which organ would you find hydrochloric acid and other acids?
Stomach.
Yes. Plant cells usually produce a layer of strong non-living material around themselves outside the cell membrane. This structure is called what?
Plasma membrane.
No, it's the cell wall. There are several kinds of this, but only warm-blooded animals can go into a true state of this deep rest to reserve resources.
Hibernation.
Yes. Back to speed. In Rome, it was an assembly of senior men and depended upon wealth and hereditary privilege. However, in the U.S., members are elected to this upper house of the legislature. Morris?
Senate.
Yes. Advantage for Morris. Shakespeare. Brutus did not support Caesar, but instead called this man the noblest Roman of them all.
Brutus.
Brutus.
No.
What?
Mark Antony. Banquo is first friend to this title king, but the king kills him after they visit the three witches. So his ghost attends the banquet of which king?
It's not Macbeth.
Midas? I don't know.
Midas?
No, Macbeth. The wedding of Hippolyta and Theseus becomes a triple wedding in this comedy where everyone ends up confused in the night and wake up unsure if it was all real.
A Midsummer's Night Dream?
Yes. Back to Speed. With a guilty plea at an arraignment, the defendant automatically waives the right to what? Morris?
A lawyer?
No. Adair?
Trial?
Yes. Advantage for Adair? Chemistry. What compound do all living things need for the dissolving of chemical substances? The answer is water. What two properties of a gas are related by Charles's law? Answer is volume and temperature. What type of organic compound is formed when an alcohol reacts with an organic acid? The answer is ester. Back to Speed. Two rectangular red flags with a black square in the middle flying together at a coastal marina or other coastal warning sign or other coastal warning stations indicate what? Adair?
Hurricane.
Yes. Advantage for Adair, the Equator. The tourist monument in this country, whose name is Spanish for Equator, is actually not on the actual equator, which is near Quito.
Peru.
No, it's Ecuador. The non-mountainous lowlands on the equator are almost always this biome.
Desert.
No, rainforest. There are not 4 seasons on the equator, but there are major differences in both rainfall and this measurement of the amount of moisture in the air.
Humidity.
Yes. Okay, back to Speed. Voltaire described what North American country as a few acres of snow despite its great size? Morris?
Canada.
Yes. Advantage for Canada. Washington, D.C. This French-American designed the plan for Washington, D.C. His name translated to English would be small child or infant.
Johnson.
No, it's L'Enfant, Pierre L'Enfant. Following a peace march in 1963, Dr. Martin Luther King delivered this speech at the Lincoln Memorial. What is the speech called?
I have a dream. I have a dream.
Yes. Which D.C. museum focuses on the slogan, Never Again?
Smithsonian. Smithsonian?
No, the Holocaust Museum. Back to Speed. This actor, columnist, and humorist was Cherokee, and a memorial honoring him can be found in Claremore, Oklahoma. The answer is Will Rogers. He's rolling over in his grave. All right, husband of Hathor, this Egyptian god of light, sun and moon, and patron of pharaohs, who was depicted with the head of a falcon. Morris?
Ra?
No. Adair?
Tut.
No, it was Horus, who wrote both the amusing animal tales in Just So Stories and in Jungle Book. Adair?
Rudyard Kipling.
Yes. Advantage for Adair. Architect. Who designed Monticello and lived there?
Thomas Jefferson.
Yes. This Chinese-American architect designed both the Louvre and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yang.
No, I.M. Pei. He designed the Guggenheim Museum in New York, the Falling Water in Pennsylvania, and his only size skyscraper, the 17th story Price Tower in Bartlesville, Oklahoma.
Smith.
No, it's Frank Lloyd Wright. All right, that's all the time we have for the advantage round. The score now stands pretty close, 148 Air, 190 Morris. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
At RCB Bank, you are not just a number. You are our neighbor, friend, coworker, PTA partner, business owner down the street, and so much more. We value our relationship with you. We are here to serve you at any of our locations or online at rcbbank.com. With over 50 locations across Oklahoma and Kansas, we're everywhere you need us to be. RCB Bank is your hometown community bank, interested in your financial well-being. RCB Bank, that's my bank.
I love coming into the lab every day. My job is to screen evidence for DNA analysis. When I started at Rogers State University, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. But after I took my first chemistry class, I realized that I wanted to be in the lab. It does feel good to go to school and to find a direction and then wind up doing something that I enjoy. Not everyone can say that. It all started for me at Rogers State University.
And welcome back to I Want Answers, presented by GRDA. Let's meet a new player from Morris. We have a senior, AJ Merrill. Welcome. Okay, teams, let's go because we are down to the final competition tonight. The whirlwind round is coming right up.
Next up, it's the whirlwind round. In this round, the trailing team gets to pick from one of 3 categories, and they get to choose whether they wish to answer the category's questions themselves or force the other team to answer them. The team will have 60 seconds to answer as many questions as possible. Then, the other team gets their turn at one of 3 remaining categories. Each correct answer is worth 10 points. If any team correctly answers all 10 of their questions, they will receive 10 bonus points.
All right, so Adair, your team is trailing right now, so you get to pick out of these 3 categories: general science, world history, or languages and literature.
Okay, we're gonna pick for Morris and we pick literature.
Okay, so they are picking languages and literature for Morris. Okay, Morris. Answer these questions about language and literature. What is the title of the official poet of the English court appointed by the king or queen, a term now used for eminent poets elsewhere as well?
Jester.
No. William Shakespeare is oft referred to with this nickname.
Bard of Avon.
Excuse me?
Bard of Avon.
Yes. This English author seemed to be depressing stories such as great expectations and Oliver Twist, but they all have a thread of hope.
Charles Dickens.
Yes. In The Charge of Light Brigade, how many soldiers rode into the Valley of Death with cannons to the right and left of them?
100.
No. What war provided the backdrop for the book The Last of the Mohicans?
Crimean War.
Sorry?
Crimean War?
No. The Little Prince showed the young prince traveling from planet to find happiness. In which language was it originally written?
Hebrew.
No. Which Steinbeck novella told the story of George and Lenine traveling for work during the Depression?
Grapes of Wrath.
No. This man was not a poet laureate, but his poem, The Raven, was an instant success for him.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Up to you, judges. All right, that was good. That was hard. Thank you for speaking loud so I can hear you. I know it's challenging with the masks on, but okay, so Morris, you get to pick one of these 3 for Adair. You have general science, world history, or malapropisms.
Go for Malapropisms.
Malapropisms. I had to look that word up too. Okay. In a malapropism, one word is incorrect for meaning. Correct that word. Elizabeth Taylor said, "I haven't read any autobiographies about me."
Yeah, autobiography. It should be biography.
Yes.
Okay.
Mother Teresa needed to be beautified to become a saint.
Sanctified?
No. Sam Goldwyn said, "This makes me sore. It gets my dandruff up."
Pass.
The king's wife must be perfect and beyond refute.
Dispute.
No. The entire congregation was present at church last Sunday.
Congregation.
Yes. 8 professors comprised the math department at that university.
Comprised.
Yes. UFOs are just optical conclusions.
Illusions.
Yes. Archie Bunker, TV character. It's a proven fact that capital punishment is a well-known detergent to crime. Okay, so we all know what malapropisms are now. Strange. Okay, well, after 3 rounds, the score stands at 180, Adair, 210 Morris, still very close. Let's get back to some speed questions to wrap up this game. All right. Mesothelioma, cancer in the chest lining, often results from the inhalation of what mineral fiber no longer used in buildings? Morris?
Asbestos?
Yes. The Marquis de Lafayette helped convince which French ruler that he should assist the colonists in the American Revolution? Adair?
Napoleon.
No. Morris?
King Henry?
No. It was Louis the 16th. What name was given to many ancient Greek cities all over their empire and 2,000 years later to a very important early colonial city in eastern Pennsylvania? Adair?
Philadelphia.
Yes. The second time derivative of position is what quantity, measured in meters per second squared, equal to the rate of change of velocity? Morris?
Acceleration?
Yes. German is the national language for 6 nations, which, with Germany, of course, having the most native speakers. Which nation is second in this? Morris?
Poland?
No. Adair?
Austria.
Yes. What descriptive name links beetles in the family Cerambycidae, noted by long antennae and a breed of beef cattle developed in the Southwest, especially Texas? Adair?
Longhorns.
Yes. Jess Ahrens and Leslie Burke discovered a magical realm in what book by Catherine Patterson? Morris?
Narnia?
No. Adair?
Camelot.
No, it's A Bridge to Terabithia. This metal, with an atomic number of 26, has the most stable bonded nucleus. Morris?
Titanium?
No. Adair?
Iron.
Iron is correct, yes. All right. Oh, the bell concludes tonight's competition. The final score stands at 220 Adair, 230 Morris. That means that Morris is our winner tonight. Great job. Well done, both teams. Now, as we look at our bracket, we see that Morris will advance to our Season 10 championship game. So we'll see them again in a few weeks. Thank you, teams, for playing, and thank you, audience, for joining us as we showcase the knowledge of our local Green Country High School academic teams. Now, be sure to follow I Want Answers on Facebook and Instagram, and remember, you can catch up on past episodes anytime at rsu.tv. We'll see you next time for another exciting competition on I Want Answers.
I Want Answers is presented by the Grand River Dam Authority. Additional funding provided by the Gerald H. Westby Jr. Foundation, RCB Bank, Rogers State University, and by viewers like you.